Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 27th of January, 1976. And the title is 3 Elevated Godly Self-Respect Affirmations. Today, the oldest and the new children are pleased to claim their birthright of celebrating meeting in their original home, their corporeal sweet home, Madhuban, the heavenly ashram. Seeing such happy souls and seeing the attainment and fortune of those souls, Bap Dada too is happy. Just as children are happy when they receive an inheritance from their father, that is, they are pleased. In the same way, Bap Dada is also pleased to see the last and so fast effort makers deeply engrossed in the love of making intense effort. The faces and personalities of those who are making fast effort are like those of the Father. They are constantly visible as spiritual. There isn't any thought or awareness other than of spirituality. That is, all the powers that are attained from the Father are visible. Their spiritual ability to take every soul beyond with a glance is visible in their every look. In order to attain such an elevated stage, you must remember 2 things constantly. 1. Consider yourself to be an immortal stage. 2. Consider yourself to be a trikaldarshi, knower of the 3 aspects of time, image. The incorporeal stage is to be seated on the immortal throne and to be an image of immortality. In the corporeal karma yogi stage, you are a trikaldarshi image seated on the Father's heart throne. Before putting any thought into practical form, check these 2 things. Are you stable in both forms, incorporeal and corporeal? By having this awareness, you will automatically become an embodiment of power. That is, you will experience health, wealth, and happiness at every moment. Even if the suffering of karma through the body may be triggered, then a crucifix. By constantly considering yourself to be a detached observer, you will not be influenced by the suffering of karma. All the suffering of karma will be experienced as a thorn rather than a crucifix. The happiness of being free from the suffering of karma for birth, after birth, in the future becomes the medicine to settle the suffering of this karma. Happiness becomes the nourishing medicine. Now check yourself. Do I remain constantly healthy? Have I attained the blessing of being ever healthy? Have I attained all 3 blessings of being ever healthy, wealthy, and happy from the Father, the bestower of blessings? You are not losing your inheritance of being ever healthy all the time through being influenced by any type of illness of Maya. Are you? Have you received the blessing from the Father of being ever wealthy? That is, of being full of the treasure of all powers. Do you experience yourself to be a master of all treasures? That is, there is the praise of nothing lacking in the treasure store of the deities, but the praise of the Brahmins is even more elevated than that of the deities. No power is lacking in the treasure store of Brahmins. Do you experience yourself to be ever wealthy in this way, as well as being ever wealthy Do you also experience yourself to be ever happy? That is, constantly happy. If you do not have any attraction to matter or to Maya, you can then remain constantly happy. Those who are constantly happy always have just one thought in their awareness. I have attained that which I wanted to attain, and there is nothing left to attain. What is the sign of those who remain stable in such a thought? That is, of those who remain ever happy. Those who remain constantly happy, constantly continue to donate happiness to all souls through their thoughts, words, and deeds. Like the Father, they are always removers of sorrow and bestowers of happiness to any soul, and they constantly experience themselves to be the emperors of the land without sorrow. An emperor means a bestower. Through the vibration of every thought of a soul who remain happy in this way, through their spiritual glance of 1 second, through 1 second's connection, and through one word, any unhappy soul who is experiencing sorrow will experience themselves to be happy and joyful. The duty of such a soul is to give happiness and to receive happiness. Just as people are happy on seeing their worthy king, in the same way, no matter how much sorrow a soul is experiencing, on seeing an ever healthy, wealthy, and happy soul, that soul will experience happiness. A soul without attainment will begin to swing with happiness on seeing a bestower. Do you experience yourself to be like this? Are you children of the bestower, the same as the bestower, the same as the Father? Or are you like the devotees who take? Or do your receiving and giving take place at the same time? You have to receive so that you can give. The treasures are for distributing and for world benefit. At every second, as well as being those who receive, also be the bestowers who give, because only then will you be called world benefactors. Check your account of receiving and giving. Are you taking as much as you have to take? And along with that, are you also giving as much as you should be giving? Are you receiving and giving simultaneous and equal? Only such world benefactors can become world emperors. Do you understand? To such great donors who make all souls full of all attainments, to those who make beggar souls into those who have a right, to those who make weak souls powerful, to the ever healthy, wealthy, and happy, most elevated souls, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Personal meeting. Do you constantly experience yourself to be with Bap Dada? Or do you experience yourself to be alone? Just as the Father is shown as one with 1,000 arms, and while being the Almighty Authority, He is shown in the memorial with the children as His arms. In the same way, do you children also experience yourselves to be with the Almighty Authority Father constantly, or only sometimes? Those who constantly experience His constant company will never feel any need to experience the company of a bodily being. Such souls will never take the support of bodily beings for any service. To take cooperation according to the code of conduct and according to the gathering is a different matter. However, to remember a bodily being in any circumstance, thinking that that person will help you overcome that circumstance and that they will give you advice or support, proves that you do not constantly have the support of the Almighty Authority with you. Because someone who has the constant company of the Father has a close relationship with Him. He will remember Baba in his thoughts and heart-to-heart conversation, and that he should ask Baba about that, the advice or support. It also happens that you remember an instrument teacher, a companion, or an equal for a task, but you constantly remember Baba, Baba in your mind and intellect. Since Baba has promised you that he will give you his direct company, you should take the benefit of that promise. At this time, you can have a personal relationship with both fathers. It will not happen again throughout the cycle. Take the full benefit of the attainment that you are able to have at only this time, at no other time. No matter what happens, always remember Baba. This is known as being a constant yogi. To have remembrance of the Father at every step is also yoga. Are you such constant yogis, or do you have to become those? Since the Father himself is making an offer to give you his company, you should accept that offer. Should you not? For half the cycle, you were trying to convince the Father to give you his company, and how that the Father himself is making you an offer. You should accept it. Generally, when someone is offered something physical and that person does not accept it, it is not considered to be good manners. Would you consider that respectful? This is an offer from God. To be constantly with the Father means to be a constant yogi. He is constantly light, and so, by being in his company, you will also become light, and light in feeling, so you become double light. Since the Father is offering to carry your burden, why are you carrying the burden? Those who are carrying a burden cannot move at full speed. So now, become light of all types of burden. Clear every corner inside yourself. Do not hold on to any rubbish within yourself. Do not think that you will give it when you have a chance. It is, after all, rubbish, and germs grow where there is rubbish. To keep them means to make them grow. So when you keep yourself empty of rubbish, you will be able to fill yourself with the treasures you have received from the Father. Acha, Om Shanti.